You just bought Star Wars Battlefront 2, or just now are getting into Galactic Assault. It can be a little daunting to understand what each objective is and how to play it. Since you get the most amount of battle points by playing these objectives, we'll cover what the 4 objective types are and how to play them next. There are 4 main objectives or game styles in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and they vary on each map and even between each phase as well. If you're new to Battlefront 2, either just picking it up on sale or because the progression system was fixed, or even if you're not new and just coming over from Arcade, Blast, or the campaign, it can be hard to know what is needed to win. We'll be going over the main objective modes in Galactic Assault, and they are Walker Escort, Secure the Area, Override, or Sabotage. Each one is a little different, and if you already know how to play or interact with the objectives, post some tips on how we can be the most successful down below. A lot of us take what we know for granted and as common knowledge, and anything we can do to help those new or struggling players really makes the community that much better. Helpful posts will be pinned so that way we can get the most help out to our brothers and sisters who are just now starting their journey in a galaxy far, far away. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button to let me know, then subscribe so you don't miss when new videos are out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central. We'll also be streaming, maybe this week during the daytime, since I am off all week, and if the kids are napping, I have time to play. Also, check out our partners at StarWarsGaming.net. They're a great source for news and information regarding all things Star Wars, and I count on them to keep me up to date when news is released for Battlefront 2. There's a link in the description down below. Stay tuned till the end and we'll play a round of Can I Get Up There? Where we see what we can get on top of. Sometimes it's useful, most of the time it's not, but it's always fun. If you're on the defense, your objective is usually pretty clear, and that's to mostly kill as many troopers as quickly as possible. However, on the Walker Assault game mode, you are the team that's having to play the objective. The attacking team in this case only needs to really focus on one in particular enemy troop, and that's the one holding the ion launcher. In Walker Assault, the objective is to pick up and fire the ion launcher at the AT-AT or MTT. This will open up the walker to take some damage for a short period of time, and you'll see 2 icons on the walker objective. One will have a lock on it. This means do not waste your time shooting at the walker, and you'll need to fire an ion launcher first. The second is crosshairs, and this means it's open for damage and you need to be shooting at it. Once the walker is open for damage, it's imperative that everyone on your team turns their focus into shooting at the walker. Once the walker takes enough damage, it will be destroyed, and if you're on Hoth, it'll change the way Phase 2 plays out if you manage to only take down one. You will get a ton of battle points by shooting the walker, so if you want those heroes, make sure you give it all you can as soon as it becomes open for damage. In order to fire the ion launcher, you just need to hold it on the target of any part of the MTT or AT-AT, and you'll hear a tone get higher and higher until a lock is acquired. Once it's been acquired, you just need to fire the ion launcher. Now your target lock can be blocked by enemy troopers or friendly troopers walking in your line of sight, so be prepared for teammates to randomly run in front of you and break your lock. You can acquire the target lock regardless of how much of the walker is visible. You just need a small portion of the target in order to get the lock on and fire the launcher. There is no need to run into the open in order to get a lock, and it's normally best to use debris, buildings, and or trees in order to reduce the chances of the walker gunner killing you right away and putting the launcher in an unobtainable position. Don't be the Blue Falcon when you have the ion launcher and run out into the open field hoping to get a lock in time. If you have an ion launcher and the MTT or ATT is vulnerable for attack, do not fire the ion launcher at it until the timer runs out and it can't take damage again. If you fire a second ion launcher at the walker or MTT while it's open for damage, it will not do any additional damage, nor will it increase the amount of time damage can be dealt. It's best to let the time run out for the lock icon to reappear and to do damage with your primary weapon while you still can. Once the lock is back up, that's when you want to fire the second launcher at it. Don't be that guy on your team firing the launcher at the walkers that's currently open for damage. Nobody likes that guy and it's not helping you any. Walker Escort is generally the first stage of a map, unless you're on Endor where it's Phase 2. Please keep in mind that there are at least 2 ion launchers available, and once they're fired, they'll respawn at the same location they originally were before until the walkers move to a certain point, in which case the ion launchers move back. Also, the closer you are to the MTT or walker, the faster the lock-on is going to occur. So if you're at max range, it'll take the longest, and if you're standing right next to it, it'll be almost instantaneous. That does not mean that you need to force your way to get closer to the walker. However, if the walker is getting close to where the ion launcher is and you manage to grab it, even if you're going to die, if you can pick it up for just a few seconds and lock it on and fire it, you've greatly helped your team. Next, we're going to talk about secure area. This game mode gives you a small area you want to get in and clear enemy troops out of. This game mode is pretty easy for the defending team. You just need to make sure you have at least one player in the objective, if not more, and in order to stop the enemy team from capturing it. And you just need to kill 100 enemy troopers maximum in order to win. The hardest part for the defending team is once you get pushed out of the objective, it's very hard to get back in. The number on the shield of the objective point is the number of enemy troops if you're defending, or the number of friendlies in the objective if you're attacking. If you're attacking, you just need to have one player on the objective in order to secure it if there's no enemy troopers on the point, or if there are enemy troopers, it'll be in a contested state until one team is no longer on the objective. You only need one player to be on the objective from each team for it to be contested. And if there are 20 players from one team on the objective, but still only one from the opposing team, it's still considered contested and the capturing progress will not increase or decrease. This is mainly important for when the game goes to overtime, which is most common in this game mode over the others. If the game is in overtime, it's important to make sure that someone from the attacking team gets into the objective. If the timer goes down or starts going down for overtime, all the attacking team needs to do is have one person run in and die, and the timer will reset. This mode is rather easy to play for everyone, so we'll just move on to the other objectives. And if you have any specific questions on secure the area, post it in the comments down below so we can get you the exact help you need. The third type of game mode is Override. This is probably one of my least favorites, and I wish Override was just replaced with the Sabotage game mode. Sabotage is my favorite, and we'll talk about that one next. Again, if you're on the defense, all you need to do is kill a maximum of 100 troopers and prevent them from sitting next to the terminal in order to win. This is one of the easiest modes for the defending team to win if they are willing to sacrifice themselves to stop the secure, which you should always do. Since if you are defending, the number of deaths you take doesn't matter. There's no death counter for your team, it's only for the attackers. So if the objective is being overridden, run in regardless of the number of enemies. Make sure you have Vanguard or Infiltration active for the speed boost, or a grenade of some kind just to kill the player interacting with the objective. This will stop the attacker's progress on the hack and force another player to start interacting with the objective. Primarily, we just see everyone sitting back and trying to fight through, which leads to the defending team to lose during this objective, but they really shouldn't have a hard time winning it if you're willing to run in, get your one kill, and then die and do it again. If you're on the attacking team, your job is to get to a computer terminal and hold your interact button next to it until the objective progress is 100%. In this game mode, there is normally more than one terminal to hack. Unless you're on Camino, then you have two phases with only one override objective, which is phase 1 and phase 4, and this is why the droids have such a hard time getting those two phases won. If you're attacking, this is a good mode to use the officer or specialist shields, since it will force the enemy to push in close if you're under the officer's shield, or it'll force the enemy to melee you or waste sometimes shooting down your shield if you're a specialist. If you come up on a terminal that's already being interacted with or overridden, don't be that guy that just stands next to your teammate already taking care of the objective. Go defend them so you don't lose your progress, and if you notice they go down, make sure to hop on to finish the capture. The worst is when you have 2 to 3 teammates either standing right on top of you if you're hacking or overriding the objective, or after you die, the same 2 to 3 guys are just standing around ignoring the objective altogether. This brings us to the last game mode available, which is Sabotage. In this game mode, the defenders, like the last two, have to kill 100 enemy troopers and prevent the placing a bomb on an objective. If a bomb is placed, they have a limited amount of time to go defuse it, and this game mode has usually the shortest overtimes available, besides Walker's Escort, which doesn't have any overtime available. And it's a really decent back and forth if you have a good team on both sides that'll push in, plant the bomb, and then the defenders will push in and defuse, and it goes back and forth like that for a while, which can be a lot of fun. I've always liked these style of game modes in other games, and unlike other games on this one, you do not need to pick anything up in order to place the bomb, so everyone has the ability to place it down. If you're on the attack, you need to get to the objective, interact with it briefly to place your bomb, and once the bomb is down, you no longer need to sit directly on the objective. However, you probably want to make sure that you have a line of sight on it, so that way you can stop anyone trying to defuse. Like Secure, it's very simple, but unlike Secure, situational awareness in this one is the key to this game mode. Once the bomb is down, you'll probably start to see an influx of enemy troops going for the defuse. From there, you need to stay alive, make sure you're paying attention to the bomb location, and if needed, prevent any ninja diffusers or someone that just sneaks up on the bomb and tries to defuse it before someone realizes they're there. There's usually a lot going on, and prioritizing your targets gets very important. Obviously, if you need to die to stop the defuse, that's your best move. Ideally though, you'll be positioned so you won't have to sacrifice, but there will be times that that's the only option. Otherwise, you need to be taking anyone out close to the objective and make sure that no one's coming behind you. This can be very stressful, but very fun, depending on how serious you're taking the game at that point. Good luck to you out there, Trooper, and I hope to see you on the battlefield. And now for Can I Get Up There? Where we see what we can get on top of. Sometimes it's useful, most of the time it's not, but it's always fun. This spot is Naboo Phase 1, and is on the last part of the phase right before you can enter into the control rooms. Although the clones could use it a little sooner, I guess, if they wanted, but there's absolutely no cover up here, and it makes it really hard to stay alive, and basically you just can get on top of the temple by playing a little bit of leapfrog. It's nothing too special, but I was just curious if I could get up there one day, and it turns out you can. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in game.